Hello and welcome back. You're watching Nos. That is what I decided to call myself on YouTube. And we are doing a challenge. I can't stop talking. In game, I'm not gonna keep talking aloud right now because I don't want to. So, in a way, this is less of a challenge and more of a requirement, because in the last challenge video, it was about getting a certain target out, and that in of itself is a win condition. But here, it's just about not being silent, not stopping talking, and that's less of a win condition and more of just an extra requirement on top of usual gameplay. So right now, I just started off by basically agreeing or defending repeatedly. Don't really care which one. Okay, so no one was attacked, so presumably that means the guardian angel did the job. And again, even though it's day 2, I am still not going to shut up. I'll tell other people to step forward and get them talking, but I myself will not stop. I will agree, and I will defend, and I will argue, and I will do what must be done so that I do not stop talking. Okay, so I'm gonna skip straight to the revote because nothing brought up in the discussion was really that major. Looks like Stella's out, and we still have to keep talking. So either Comet was not paying attention, or she really likes the fact that I was agreeing and doubting and defending and all sorts of things every single opportunity I had with no real rhyme or reason, because I definitely did not stay consistent. So this is quite reminiscent of that time where I had to always agree. I did have to talk nonstop there, except only in agreement. This, in a sense, is a bit more freedom. Okay, I have to wonder because Kukushka had that surprised face, and we take that to mean that she's surprised, and not only that she's surprised, but she's surprised specifically because the revote had to occur. And yet, Otome, who has great hearing, understands her, I suppose, better than anyone else because of it. Because her gestures and her movements make noise, which Otome can interpret somehow. And I think that's interesting because presumably that means that anyone besides Otome is potentially missing out on many things that Kukrushka has to say. It's also kind of interesting because Kukrushka is the one person that wouldn't be able to do this challenge. It's kind of sad. Again, we're skipping to the revote. In case you're curious, the discussion in between the vote and revote or successive final votes is only 2 statements, I suppose, worth of discussion rather than 5 rounds of discussion. And so I typically have been skipping them because either not much is brought up or the same point is being brought up from the first discussion and it's not adding much. But don't worry, I was talking. I did not stop talking. In fact, that's definitely a guarantee. Yeah, Comet is human, having been confirmed by both engineers. It really just means that the real engineer, whether it's Chippy or Gina, has declared that they are human, and not so much that 2 people are saying independently that she is human. Because it is quite possible that both engineers are fakes, and so that is not enough to verify someone's humanity. You need to, in a way, know that one or the other is for sure the engineer. And if you can do that, then you can confirm people and get them killed, because Comet was killed by the Gnosia, so that kind of sucks for her. I will not stop talking. I will keep talking. I will doubt. I will cover. I will agree. I will defend. It would have been a lot easier doing this challenge, I suppose, if I could communicate like Kukrushka in that count. Because then I wouldn't have to talk verbally. I could just kind of look around, I guess. And the world is ending. That's nice. So what did we get from this? We got that if we talk, we explode? I don't understand. We are the bugs, so we did win the round, but not in the way we might have wanted, because the universe exploded. Okay, so apparently it took Setsu 20 loops to work out all the intricacies of what makes a bug a bug. I find that a lot, but maybe she didn't have as much control over the loops, because then presumably she could make herself the bug or make someone else the bug and study it somehow. That is kind of funny though, because from what Setsu says when she is helping us out with the key, it is kind of implied that she herself has capabilities outside of just looping through time, so much that she's much like the player. And 20 loops to figure out a roll, that's crazy if you can control the loops. Okay, so assuming that Livy has no information on the bug or its capabilities, then I'm guessing the hard discovery, what didn't come so easy, was discovering that the bug was invulnerable to Gnosia attack, because that could very easily look like a guardian angel save. It looks like Otome also likes talkative people. That's good to know, I guess. And Setsu could have just, no, had 5 crew, 1 Gnosia, and 1 bug, and eventually should figure out the bug's mechanics, I'm sure. Much easier than if there were 15 crew and an engineer, a guardian angel, and so on thrown in there. Just 1 bug, and that's it. I'm sure you'd be able to figure out everything you need to know. Okay, so here I decided to start the conversation. I said that Otome was suspicious and Gina told me to shut up. That's interesting because from there, I didn't get a shut up. I did it again. So the first round, I got a shut up. Second round, nothing. Third round, still nothing. The fourth round, we get a shut up from Rockio this time. So that's interesting because I do it a 5th time and then no one cares. It's just Yuriko that says that Otome has issues. And the fun thing is it actually worked. Instead of me being targeted and voted off for being effectively annoying and disruptive or what have you, I actually got Otome voted off. Of course, it may have not been anything to do with what I said, but let's say it was. Okay, so here's something interesting. Rockio is going to say that Gina is a definite human. So that confirms her as engineer, and she reported Xiaoming as Gnosia. And somehow I get voted off. In fact, the only votes on Xiaoming were Gina and myself. Yuriko obviously voted for me, that's fair because they were Gnosia, but the other 4 really messed up. Okay, so I'm intentionally trimming everything here, not to make it intentionally harder or easier on myself or what have you, but just to make my talkative behavior even more noticeable, because instead of being swamped in a noisy, boisterous group of 15, there are now only 5 of us, and if one person is talking every time, maybe it will be even more obvious or more annoying. I started by just doubting everyone because why would I cover everyone? And then I just kind of let someone else take the reins and it got Jonas out. That's unfortunate for him. Okay, and I voted for Setsu last time, but they're gone. So it's between Chippy and Xiaoming, and I'm going to start by doubting both of them because, again, I can't stop talking. And then I'll let them figure it out from there. Okay, I'll doubt Chippy. I'll agree. They're doubting me, and Xiaoming's defending me. Xiaoming's doubting Chippy. Now, I could blame myself for this loss a bit too, because I thought Chippy going after me and Xiaoming defending me meant that Chippy was the Gnosia, but it turns out Chippy just thought it was me, and that was that. And they were wrong.